All right, so about the vision, what you have in front of you then is a blank canvas, and it's up to you now. What are you going to fill in the canvas of your mindset going forward? And with all the things that Ian has mentioned there, it is so easy to become so small in your world because you think of survival, because you're filled with fear and all the ugly words on the left side: anxiety, stress, doubt, failure, hopelessness, lack, worthlessness, low, lonely, inadequate, sickness, hate. That is very difficult to focus your mind on what is positive, and the confidence, hope, conviction, success, assurance, abundance, worthy, impact, prepared, health, love. So right now, let's assume the canvas of your mind is blank. You still have the choice of what you fill in that. Uh, I'm going to just share some thoughts on that tonight to finish it off. And I came across a verse, and the verse says in Proverbs 22:2, "The rich and poor meet together, the Lord is the maker of them all." Now, at first glance, it can say, "Poor me, I'm the victim. The Lord made me rich, or the Lord made me poor. So I had no say in it. Poor me." But then just a little bit further, it adds to the verse, "The poor and the oppressor meet together, and the Lord gives light to the eyes of both." So the rich is rich because of what they choose to see. And that brings me to my topic tonight. What is your vision for yourself and your family in these times? And then the same Proverbs talks to us and say, where there is no vision, the people perish. And that made me go to research a little bit on what is the process of vision. On the left there, you've got the eye, and the first part of the eye is then the full eye, which I just define as the body's equipment to see light, color, images, movement, and one of the very important 5 senses or organs of the body. Then the eye muscle, which is on the points here, can help to contract the eye so that it can focus better, and it also moves the eye to where you want to see: left, right, up, down, but it moves the eye to what is to be seen. Then the pupil is what is allowing the light into the eye, and it adjusts the intake of light reflected from the object. The lens itself can then adjust finer to ensure a sharp picture, which is reflected on the retina at the back. And the retina is the canvas, the body screen on which the image is shown. What's interesting is whatever you see in front of you is then reflected upside down on the retina, and then the optic nerve finally analyzed that and sent the correct, or through the neurons to your brain, where it is then adjusted to be seen correctly. I just used those components of the eye to say the body's equipment to see light, color, images. The big thing there is you must not be blind, because the ancient texts tell us that the God of this world has blinded the unbeliever's mind that they should not discern the truth. So what then causes blindness? It says people are straying and do not perceive or know where they're going because the darkness has blinded his eyes, which makes sense. You can't see when it's dark, so don't stay blind. How do I solve that issue then? Well, turn on the light. And then it tells us in the ancient texts, once more Jesus addressed the crowd and he says, "I am the light of the world. He who follows me will not be walking in the dark, but will have the light which is life." So I just want to encourage people who do not yet have a personal, close relationship with their Creator to go and reflect on these things and bring in the light into your situation right now. Now, the muscle is the one that turns the eye to what is to be seen. So choose what you see. And it says then in Philippians 4 verse 6, it starts off by saying, "Do not fret or have anxiety about anything, but in every circumstance and everything by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, continue to make your wants known to God." But then the important one is, "For the rest, brethren, whatever is true, worthy of reverence, honorable, seemly, just, pure, lovely and lovable, kind, winsome, gracious, virtue, excellence, worthy of praise, think on and weigh and take account of these things, fix your minds on them. So it's like moving your muscle of the eye to say, I'm only going to see what I want to see in terms of these topics. Then the pupil is the one that adjusts the intake of light reflected from the object, and it brings us to the words reflect and meditate. And in Joshua it says, before they could move out of the desert into the promised land, he spoke to the leader and he says, the book of this law shall not depart out of your mouth, but you shall meditate on it day and night, that you may observe and do according to all that's written in it. For then you shall make your way prosperous, and then you shall deal wisely and have good success. So it doesn't come from just reading. It's reflecting, meditating, reading it aloud, mulling it over, and see how it's applicable to you. Then the lens and the retina. So the lens is the fine adjustment to ensure a sharp picture on the retina, and the retina is the body screen on which the image is shown. And it says in Romans, do not be conformed to this world, this age, fashioned after and adapted to its external superficial customs, but be transformed, changed by the entire renewal of your mind, so that you may prove for yourself what is the good and acceptable, perfect will of God, even the things which is good and acceptable and perfect in His sight for you. So when I talk about alignment, it's about renewing your mind, but start thinking and seeing your life and your family's life and your journey in a time such as this from the mindset of God, the Creator who created you for a time such as this. And you're not here by accident. And ultimately, the optic nerve is the final thing that translates the information to the brain for storage in the form of electric impulses. So choose what it is that you're going to allow to enter your mind. And it talks in the Corinthians, lead every thought and purpose that is against the knowledge of God away captive and bring it into obedience. So it basically speaks of you can't stop being attacked by all negative thoughts and negative inputs around you, but you do have the choice. Which of these negative thoughts and inputs are you going to adopt for yourself and own, or which are you going to reject, and in another way, tell your mind not to accept it and immediately start thinking of the positive outcome. So you control what you store in your mind as truth. And remember, although right now we're in a time frame of lockdown, but this too shall pass. How long it will last doesn't matter. Use this time wisely to reinvent yourself, reflect, bring your family into a place of getting ready for the future. And the future is going to look very different from what we had in the past. But the future is not ahead of you, it's trapped within you. So use this time to reflect and bring that future out of you.